Hey guys, Matt Herms here, and today I am coloring this amazing, awesome Mega Man artwork by the incredibly talented Ryan Jampole. This was a belated commission from New York Comic Con 2017, and yeah, I am trying something a little new here today. I have never recorded my coloring before. This is the very first time, and as you can probably tell from the audio, I am both recording this with the built-in microphone on my computer, and I am also currently getting over a cold, so yes, I do probably sound like crap right now. Yeah, so I am coloring this piece with Copic markers. It's sped up to about 600 times speed, so that you're not sitting here watching this for a full hour and 20 minutes or so. So yeah, Ryan Jampole, who I worked with for many years on the Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog comic books, and we continue to work together on other projects elsewhere. He drew this fantastic Mega Man. Nobody draws Mega Man better than him. He is just an incredibly talented guy, and honestly, I mean, like, he just really kills it. He rocks it, as it were. Yeah, so I was the colorist on the Mega Man comic books that Archie published from its start to its end, with a little bit of a break for a few months there towards the end of it, I guess. Now here's the thing. Before I was a comic book colorist, before I could digitally color in Photoshop, I never worked in color. I didn't use markers, I didn't use paint, no colored pencils, I was just pure black and white. And then I started to play around with Adobe Photoshop in high school, and I fell in love with it. I loved working with layers, I loved special effects, and eventually I found that I didn't so much want to draw comics anymore, which had been kind of my lifelong dream up until that point, so much as I wanted to color them. And so I actually made that switch. I had been drawing the Sonic the Hedgehog comics in 2007 to 2008, and I switched over to be that book's colorist beginning in 2009. Now, as a colorist, I found that at conventions, people were often sort of like, "Hey, can I get a commission from you?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, like it's gonna be a drawing, like it'll be black and white." And people would be kind of, you know, disappointed by that, because obviously, like, as a comic book colorist, they expected something a little bit more colorful. And I often was like, well, I cannot do that for you. Now, I had seen these gorgeous commissions that a colorist named Matt Wilson was doing, and just, oh god, they were so amazing looking. And he would do them right there at his artist alley table. Like, people would bring him line art by another artist, and he would color it. And it was amazing, and I thought, yeah, like, I want to do that too. And so for the last year or so, I have slowly but surely been picking up Copic markers. The first time I've ever done any traditional coloring, in fact. I love them. I cannot say enough good things about them. Like, they're my absolute favorite. So, yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the Mega Man comic books now, since we've got a few minutes left here. So, yeah, I was coloring Sonic back in 2009, and after a couple years, in 2010, at New York Comic Con, I believe, Archie Comics announced that they were going to be partnering with Capcom and publishing Mega Man. Now, Mega Man has a really rich history in comics, especially in manga. Hitoshi Ariga's Mega Man Megamix manga in particular is brilliant, and in fact, Udon Entertainment is going to be publishing a colored version of that manga later this year, and it looks amazing. Now, in the early 2000s, there was a Western-made Mega Man comic, very brief, only 4 issues were ever made, and it was published by Dreamwave, and it was interesting take on the character, a bit different and far removed from his video game roots. Like, Mega Man was actually kind of like the superhero identity for a child robot named Rocky Light, who attended school and stuff like that. The Archie book was designed from the start to be a book that was much more faithful to its source material. Written by Ian Flynn, who of course was fresh off of several years already on Sonic books. So, Mega Man launched in spring of 2011, the first arc drawn by the amazing Patrick Spaziante. It took us a few issues to sort of find our footing visually. Patrick was originally going to do all of it himself, like do all the drawing himself, and then another inker was brought in to help out, and eventually another inker, Gary Martin, took over that job and was there until the end. So Gary's inking, he used what he described as the Disney line, and basically it kept all of the line art just very bold and very clean, and that is, of course, a colorist's dream come true. Like, Gary's clean, precise inks made coloring that book so easy. Now, Mega Man rotated artists a lot. The idea there was to keep the book moving, switch an artist every story arc to make sure the book was always on time. Now, as a result, it was sort of Gary Martin and my job to sort of be the glue that held that all together, so to speak. So that even though it was a different artist every 4 issues or so, it all looked consistent. And only a handful of artists were regularly rotated in, including Ryan here. Though I don't believe he ever got to do a full 4-issue arc, technically. I believe the original idea was to do 4 issues of video game adaptation, 4 issues of in-between stories, kind of world building, and then do another game adaptation, and so forth. And I think that model really was only there for the first year. After that, things kind of slowed down a bit for a more organic world building progression. Creating new characters and setting up stuff that would be ultimately played out in adaptations of games like Mega Man 4 and 6 way down the road. Adapting more obscure material like the Raw Moon stuff from the little-known, like, Sega Saturn kind of RPG-ish Rockman Adventure game. Ultimately, the books went on indefinite hiatus at the end of 2015, and right at the kind of start of the Mega Man 4 storyline. The final issue being this awesome series of cover-style splash pages that depicted events of games and stories and beyond that we hadn't gotten to yet. So, as of now, as of late 2017, when I'm recording this, the book is still on hiatus. Obviously, all of us involved in it miss it dearly. It was a great comic book to work on. 55 issues, 55 consecutive issues in particular, is actually a really long time for a licensed book. Typically that stuff doesn't make it past a year or two, and we did Mega Man for almost 5. So that's pretty good, and I, of course, will always cherish that book for the incredible talent I got to work with. Ian and Gary, Jamal Peppers and Chad Thomas, and of course, Ryan Jampole. All of these guys are guys that I have continued to work with elsewhere on many different projects, and, a lot of them I consider good friends as well. So, that's... that's it, I guess, for this. So thanks for checking this out. I will most certainly try to do more of this in the future, hopefully with a better microphone in the future, and hopefully with less being sick, and a little bit more of a focused, I guess, discussion of topics, I suppose. Otherwise, thanks for checking this out, and yeah, I'm gonna just let the Woodman stage music play this out. So yeah, thanks for checking this out. Talk to you later. Bye.